Hey and stuff. So this is a story, it's story time again, about a time when I was taken advantage of and stuff. Not to joke about that type of thing, but it happened to me by a girl, a bigger girl. Sorry to say a bigger girl. It's just at one point I couldn't walk, and this girl managed to get me back to her. All right, so what happened, I go away to a spring fling at a friend's college with a bunch of my friends and everything. It's gonna be a lot of fun, super fun for everyone. And I think this is right around the time when Tito's came out, and I was like, oh, Tito's. And I used to do this thing where you would put Mios inside Tito's and like maybe add some water, but that was like it was really just the Mio. So I had this great idea to fill an entire juice thing with Tito's, like a lot of Tito's, and then some water and some Mio. So that's like all there was. It was mostly Tito's though, just flavored by Mio. That's not the point of the story, all right, but that's what I was doing. So we all get there, and the first night it's just basically a sorority party that my friend is in the sorority, so it's like a couple of us and then a bunch of girls. It's pretty dope. So there's one girl I was trying to talk to kinda, but I wasn't really talking to her. And then there was this other girl, that the bigger, I'm sorry to say big, I don't mean it like that, but the other girl, I don't know what to call her, girl B. Well, girl A is, this is the only time girl A is mentioned. All right, but so the one girl, she had shown interest in me very like abruptly, but I wasn't about it. I wasn't trying to talk, I was trying to talk to girl A. So the night proceeds and I end up getting beat up because I was literally drinking straight vodka with my friends I was passing it around and stuff. And so like towards the end of the night, I'm just like, nope, done, going to sleep. So I like lay on the couch and I'm done. I'm like literally knocked out. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just done for the night. And this girl like willed me, girl B, wills me up. And I don't remember any of it, but she somehow got all at that. I mean, I was skinnier back then, but I was still like 230. Like I was a big dude, and freaking this girl got me up and walked me all the way across campus to her dorm. Don't know how she did it. That's the only reason I said she was a bigger girl, was because I couldn't get me across campus. Like that's insane. She's very pretty, not saying that bigger girls are pretty, but why do you guys do that? Why does everyone do that all the time? Why can't I just say as a bigger girl? But so yeah, that happens. And so I guess we commenced to doing stuff, how stuff is done in college. And I guess I'm doing stuff, I don't know. I mean, the only thing I have is a recollection from later. But so I know none of this. Apparently my wiener wouldn't work, obviously, because I didn't even know what was going on. So the last I remembered is I went to sleep on the couch. I woke up in a dorm in my own like throw up, which is gross. I know that's not the moral of the story, but as I said before, but yeah, it's so my throw up's everywhere. I'm in the bed by myself and I'm just butt naked, and I'm like, I don't even know what has happened to me, which is a terrible life story. Kids, don't listen to this story. But so I still don't even know who brought me back. I don't know whose dorm I'm in, because we were at houses. That's where the parties were. And so I look over and there's a girl sleeping on the other bed. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, this is the girl that I was talking to? And freaking, I can't find my clothes anywhere. Like literally my clothes are nowhere. And this girl, I don't know how you're supposed to tell because it was just a girl sleeping, but she was very clearly gothic scene emo-ish. She had like the full big brush over black hair, how people have that. And I'm like, how are your pajamas? Your pajamas are goth? Like you're goth and you wear pajamas? It just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe you do. I mean, pajamas aren't, I don't know. But I'm like sitting there, I grab a pillow and I cover up my wiener with the pillow. And I'm just sitting there, like looking around trying to find my clothes. And this girl was just like, I think you threw up. And I was like, nah, I didn't throw up. She's like, I'm pretty sure you threw up. Leah went, oh fuck, I always use the name. Went over to another dorm to sleep. She was crying and everything. And I was like, what happened? She was like, I'm pretty sure you threw up. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. I was like, well, I don't know if I threw up, but we can say that I threw up. I definitely threw up almost everywhere. But I'm like, I can't find my clothes. Literally just sitting there cover my wiener girl I've never met before that I threw up in her room, and she like ends up getting up and helping me find my clothes, and now we've been married for 7 years. Great joke, didn't actually happen. So I don't even know what to do. She helps me find my clothes. I grab all the sheets from the bed because I'm trying to be somewhat nice about whatever the fudge just happened, you know? And so I grab all the sheets, I start walking through the dorm, and I find the washroom, and I just take all the sheets and I just throw them in a washer. And I didn't have any change on me. So then, actually no, it was student cards. It was like a swiper card. So the swiper card, I didn't have one, so I just left these throw up sheets in the washer, and then that was that. I figured if I could tell my friend to tell her friend that doesn't want to talk to me anymore, that I mean, honestly, she was asking for it by waking me up and bringing, I was done for the night and awoken. So on the way back to campus, crazy thing, they had a KFC, Taco Bell. Some lady just looked at me really hard talking to the camera. She didn't like it. She's driving like a 1995 Ford Excursion. Is it Ford Excursion? And there was like this KFC Taco Bell hybrid on campus, and it had to be like 8 in the morning, and for some reason it was open, and your boy just put down like 2 Crunchwrap Supremes for breakfast, which was crazy. I actually, that weekend, I definitely set a record with like 12 Crunchwrap Supremes eaten. If you're gonna put a Taco Bell on campus, that's insane. So then I get back to the sorority houses and stuff, and all my friends are just like, what did you do last night? I'm like, I don't know what I did last night. They're like, we know what you did last night. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How would you guys know? And they were like, you went home with that girl B, who I already said her name, but you guys might not even remember it by now. And I was like, no, I didn't. And they're like, yeah, you did. Like, that's what you did. Listen, this girl called them from her phone, and they were just like, my friend Steven. They're like, Steven, he's like, your friend Mikey fucking threw up all over my bed, and it's fucking everywhere, and it's fucking disgusting, and I'm crying, and she was pissed. We saved the voicemail for a very long time. If I can ever find it, I will show it to you guys. But basically, it was like a 4 a.m. call from this girl that was super upset with my performance that I can't vouch for myself anyway. But yeah, that was the time I got taken advantage of. We remained Facebook friends for a very long time though. This is another one. This is like the opposite. This is one where I was trying to be a nice guy, and then I still got destroyed for it. So I visited a lot of colleges. I went to college for a little bit, but then I visited some after that. So I showed up to a party. I used to show up to these because I would drive all the way from like 2 hours away to get to these parties, and I would get there like 10 or 11 o'clock, and I would just be like late, and they would already be going on. So I get there, and everything's normal party. Like an hour in, this one girl starts making out with me super hard, which is dope. She had red hair too. Don't know what it's about, but it was a thing. But she was one of those crazy, really into the lip biting thing, and but she would get super into like lip biting to the point where like my lips were like actually bleeding, like really bad. So I was like, I'm over this. I don't really want to hook up with a girl that badly that I'm gonna get like my lips destroyed all night. So then I'm like, I leave that girl. She ends up like making out with somebody else. And the crazy thing about it was that I'm like over by the keg, and because I wasn't in the frat, I would always pour for everybody because I didn't want, because I was like, they all had to go through stuff to pour. It's a frat thing. But I see this other kid with fucking cherry red lips, and I'm like, dude, were you making out with that girl? And he's like, yes. And I was like, dude, she fucking bites. He's like, I couldn't do it. He's like, I couldn't fucking do it. I had to stop making out with her because it's insane. So now there's 3 of us at this party. I didn't know because I showed up late. This other kid thinks he's getting into something too, but she's just biting. She's gone. Like, she's gone or something. I don't know. But freaking, so everybody like just is like, I'm not hooking up with this girl. You know what I'm saying? And freaking everyone like leaves to go to the bars. Like 12 o'clock, everyone clears out to go to the bars, and her whole sorority just left her there, like beat up, just left her at this frat house. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you can't just leave somebody. I tried to get her to go with like 2 or 3 of her friends, but they're like, no, we're going to the bar, she's fine. I'm like, she's not fucking fine. I was like, you guys can't just leave her here. And then freaking, so I end up bringing her all the way back to her sorority house. like literally carrying her on my back and stuff. And she's like a mess. She's like falling down and stuff, bringing her back to her sorority so she's not just sitting at a frat house. And freaking, I'm like thinking I'm like a great dude for doing it and everything. Get her back to her dorm. Had to literally break through a window because she couldn't find her key. Didn't break a window, but I had to like get into the window. And like that's that. And she's like grabbing me. She won't let me go, like as I'm trying to like leave. And then one of her roommates come. I'm like we're in the living room. We're not in a room or anything. We're in the living room. I'm like, all right, I gotta go. Like, you should lay down. And her friend comes out and she's just like, what's going on? I'm like, everybody left her at this house. I'm bringing her here. Like this, I was just trying to not have her stay at the frat house by herself. And she's like, all right. And then I was like, cool. So I'll see you later. And then that was it. Went to the bars. Thought I was a good person, told people about it. I was like, oh yeah, I brought her home. It was cool. Like she's fine now. And then the next morning I'm with my boys we're getting breakfast at the dining hall. And my one friend's like, oh, that girl over there just told me that you tried to like hook up with her drunk friend. And I was like, no. And then they're like, yeah, they said you were trying to hook up with her pretty bad. And I was like, fuck, why would I bring a girl back to the sorority house where people would probably be? Why wouldn't I at the frat house? And then I got so upset by that. But you shouldn't care what other people think and stuff. All right, dope. That's all I got.